Hi, welcome to this video. I've been really lucky to be in contact with a company called ATOTO. They have sent me their X10 Android head unit to do a review on, with some systems, the TPMS and their front dash cam. So I've done the install into my van. I've also fitted their accessories, and here's the install part of the video, and also I've done a review towards the end. So if you enjoy it, hope it's something for you, and let's watch the video. So here we go. So welcome to another video. We're doing a video today on this radio. It's been sent to me by ATOTO. It looks a right proper piece of kit. It's looking at it, it looks like a laptop, a phone and a stereo all in one. We sent to it to try, which is very kind of them. We've got some additional features. We've got some which I think are quite good. The sensors for the tyres, so we can put them on my van and see what happens with that. Check the tyre pressures, you know, it helps with your fuel and everything else, and if you've got a puncture, I suppose. And one thing that I think most people are fitting, which is a must, this thing also supports a front dash cam and a rear cam. We've only got the front one for the time being, but we're going to get a rear one, and we're going to also fit the torque device to this, so we can read the parameters of the van. So hopefully this radio will do everything we want it to do, and let's give it a go installing it and see how easy it is to do, and features and stuff like that it's got on it. So it should be good. So let's crack on with it. I'm going to disconnect this Pioneer one. I've had it in my van for quite a while. It didn't quite fit round there as I'd liked, so hopefully we're going to try and sort that today. What I've done is I've managed to source one of these. Now this is a bracket that's like a universal kind of adapter for a stereo. So if you notice, this now will be the other way up, so my radio will go at the bottom and my display at the top up here. I'll probably lose my little pocket cobby, which I only put this in here because of fitting this radio that I had, and I didn't have anything to go with it. It's just something online that I got, and yeah, it just comes out like that. So let's try and get this out and see what we're going to do with the wiring. So my wiring on my radio, so this is sometimes an issue for stuff, people sorting stuff out, and we know we had a bit of problems getting a live and a wire to. What I did was my speaker wires, they were wired in separately, the dash and the door speakers, if you remember, which are here, and then the rears, which were on these connectors as well. The power supply is there. We're gonna have to double check all this and try and get it sorted out. Right, so I've got an option is, well, what I've done is I've gone to one of my scrap vans and got one of my looms out. So the loom is here. So this van I took the loom out doesn't have the steering wheel control, which is this part. So this goes into the radio. This runs around the back of your dashboard, comes up to here, and you have your little things on the end of here for your volume. I don't have that. Most modern radios, I think, have it working on the steering wheel or whatever, but I haven't got that, so we'll get rid of that. So my other option is this part. Now this part of this loom, if you've got a radio that's been butchered, this part of this loom is hidden down here. So I could reinstall this, but it does mean that we're going to have to sort out the speaker wires again, which are technically on an ISO fitting, and rewire my old speaker wires up separately. So the fronts and my door speakers and my rears and my dash and my fronts, yeah. So I could keep that one on this loom and just leave this one tied up like that, and hopefully we'll get the correct power for the dash, but my speaker side will be just wired up separately. Now, so it's very kind of them to send this radio for me to do a video on it for them. and install it with some extras. So what have ATOTO sent us? Well, pretty comprehensive wiring kit by the looks of it. We've got some fixing plates, screen protectors, and it looks like 2 fascias or something to do with the stereo, so that's good. So what we're interested in as well is the wiring looms. Right, so we've got a USB record and storage, which is written on the label, which is brilliant. We've got the loom here that's radio and ISO connector B. So we've got some wires not connected and some has, quite a posh loom. We've got ISO connection A, which looks the same. Why is that different? What's different to that one to that one? Ah, so A and B, right. Let's remove them ones. So when we look at doing it with wiring on the live ignitions and all that carry on, if you look here, we've got wires with they've sent, instead of like used to, I think, bullet connectors where you swapped them over, this has got negative, positive, negative, yellow, so live. So we'll try both of these and see which is which, but everything else looks in the same place, just that the yellow is down there on this one, instead it's up there. So to swap the live and ignition, so that's really handy to have that. So we'll look at that. What else have we got? We've got pre-outs, they're probably for your amps. We've got another USB connector, that's for external storage as well. Well, there's lots of stuff in here, isn't there? What's that? Oh wow, look at that. So we've got some serious thing here. What's this do? Look at this. GPS antenna. So we've got a, wow, got 4G GPS antenna, Wi-Fi antenna. Look at that. Oh wow. So we've got a lot of stuff to, we'll probably put that up in the windscreen, eh? What I might do is I might just, before I properly mount it, I think I'll get it just well, I might as well proper mount it, haven't I? We'll do that as well. That's good. Lots. And the last connector is this one. So this must be if you want to completely hardwire it yourself, and somebody's butchered your loom out, and you don't know what, you've got nothing to connect to or anything. So that's a handy one to have. It's completely separate. There's no ISO connectors on it. We've got parking. It's all labelled, front left, front right, dimmer illumination, rear lights, all that. So it's all written on there. That's quite comprehensive, all that, isn't it? And this is the radio. It's very smart. It's very well packed. Again, all the writings on the back of the radio of what we're doing. Let's have a look. Yep, everything's on the radio, which is good. I won't unwrap it. I just want to double check it'll slide in there. Otherwise, technically the video's finished. It should go. I've tried it. Let's have a look. Oh, lovely. There we go. So with a little bit of packaging removed, we could get that screwed in there, no problem. We've got them adapter plates on there, and there's little screw holes in the side of the radio where them connectors fit to. So we can see what it's gonna look like in there. We've just got to modify my dashboard a little bit to make it fit, which we'll do. And let's look at this trim. Is that my original trim? It might be. It's the same. It's the same one, but I've just got a new one. So hopefully we're going to end up with the radio installed like that. I just lost my cobby hole, but I could fit something in there, couldn't I? Could put my USBs through there or something like that. Right. Well, that's very good. We've got a SIM thing there. We've got a SD card. We've got a SIM in there. Right. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see how we go. Let's just disconnect all this up. Right. I'm not showing you the back of it, have I? So that's where the GPS goes, that's where my aerial goes. It's even got an HDMI socket, so we could potentially plug a telly into it, could we? Or something like that, or whatever you want to do. SIM plug in there, all the adapters, microphone in there, SPD IF. Is that fibre optic or something? I don't know. Wow. That's some serious radio, isn't it? That it's got some serious stuff on it. And it's a 8 gig, 8 plus 128 gig. So that's the spec of it, and it's the X10. Right. Let's see what we can do. First thing I'm going to do, because I'm behind the camera, is I've taken my 2 bolts out of there. So I've taken my bolts out of there and there. Same at the other side. To pop this up, you lift this up like that. Hazard switch. Often fail on these vans after a while. Then we disconnect the hazard switch with the little connector. It says just that through where we get rid of that. Right. Next thing, heater control. 3 screws, take that down. Unplug it. If you notice there's a wire behind here. This one. This is the radio video, but this one we don't use because my van don't have it, so we don't have that one. We've just got that black cable there and the multi-plug on the back. Right, can lower that down. They're the cables we swapped many years ago. Right, let's get that out of the way. Let's get the mic. Let's just get all this out of the way here. This mic wire's everywhere, isn't it? Right. Let's just take that out. That was for my other thing that I had installed. Making it easy to work with. So have to bear with the noise. We've got some F-35 Raptors training, and they're not the quietest things in the world, are they? So, oh, bash that, and then we pop that up like that. Was that a bit noisy? How about that? We got a better picture. Wow. What is it like to fly one of them, eh? That's amazing. What a machine. Sorry about that. So let's get back to this video after that interruption. Right, so we're looking for the radio plug. Now, the radio plug would be this side. It will be there somewhere. on these vans. It's there, normally there. However, mine seems to be here when I did the dashboards. But let's pop this white clip out and see what's going on. Right, so I need to go to the other side. Right, so I need to if I do these green wires, these white ones, that's that side. Right, what's going on here? That was it. Oh, dear me. Right. So that is my loom that I've just taken out. Not the best thing in the world, I must admit, but we're going to hopefully rectify that now. So we'll go for the standard loom with this van. Hopefully it's right for this van. So let's double check these connectors down here, which we can run past it, can't we? Make sure we've got the right connectors. So what we're going to do now is we'll find the right connector for the stereo connector on the van instead of going the other way. So we're gonna match it up to this ISO fitting, which is power supply, and once we power the radio up and everything in the van, hopefully it should come on. Right, so we've got black, so we've got ISO connector A, and clear, so we've got yellow and black to black there, and red to red. So hopefully we're all right. If you do it the other one, like I showed you, the yellow becomes red and the red there becomes black. So we're going to stick with what we know. So we'll keep that to one side. Somebody asked about this blue wire. To be honest, I don't honestly know. I hope there's a connector on here for aerial, and it just says amplifier on and power antenna. So that's what this wire, so we need to connect this blue wire to my power antenna on here and sort that out, and then run all the GPS stuff as well. We're going to do that in a minute. I know these fittings look a bit strange on wiring, though. Should really solder stuff, but for videos and to be honest, they're using house connections, they're ideal, and you can put ferrules on the end of these. I don't know where mine have gone actually. I'll see if I can find them, and we'll put ferrule ends on, then you know what I'm talking about. So we'll tidy all this up. We'll tidy all this up if we can. What we'll do is, I didn't really want to cut that. I wonder if I've got an ISO fitting with speaker wires on and I can connect it into this. I've got all the stuff now. So I've actually got one there, look. I'll go find my ferrule ends. Right, I found them. Right, so what I mean by ferrule ends are things like this. You get them in little kits, these funny little pliers, and they go over the end of the wires. rhymes. So I've just bought one of these. I must have had it a while. I thought I had one kicking around, and what that'll do is, without cutting this connector up, it'll give me an ISO to speaker, which is bare, so we're good to go there. And what we'll do is we'll just use it into this part of this loom here. So to make things nice and simple, I've left a little bit of wire on them so I know which is which, and then I'll show you how these ferrule ends work. So we'll leave all the wires on. In a van you've got plenty of room, so they look nice and neat, don't they, on there. Then what we do, get these funny looking pliers, and all we do is put them in there and crimp them like that. So we just don't have bare wires, and what we're going to do is we're going to click them into the corresponding colours on here. Started, there we go. So we're all nicely connected up there. We'll sort that out in a minute with some connectors and some tape. I've got some tie wraps actually. We'll just put a couple of tie wraps on this lot to secure it. Keep it all nice and neat. Trouble is, I find tie wrapping stuff as well back it, you know, it looks really good, but it don't bend, does it, around stuff. You know, when you try to force it into a dashboard of a car or something. I always found it struggled a lot, you know, because it wouldn't bend. So I tend to not go too mad, but just going to put a couple in to help them. There we go. Right. Oh dear. So we've got that one there. So we're going to tie this one up for the original van. So we will be losing that behind the dash, and we're going to nick this one up here for the loop. We have got an earth to connect. So you'll have an earth and it'll be on your gearbox selector. So we are going to have to sort this earth cable out as well, which I'll have to do in a minute actually, because I think the way I've routed this now it's going to be slightly different. Let's get this earth cable, let's get this one clear. So there's the earth there, look. For some reason that's put round a bolt here, but I just extend it a bit longer and I put a rivet nut on. I stuck a rivet nut on there, on side of the thing, but the earth's normally on here. I made something for that there. I don't need that. In there. Do need is that, so we can plug our supply into there, and then hopefully once we get it running to go. So the next thing I need to do is my radio wire. So that's my antenna supply. It's just a standard aerial in this little cap off. Right, I'm finding the right one for what wire size you've got. There we go. It's not a big problem. That into there. Right, so that's my aerial powered up. That's that powered up. So the next thing we're going to have to do is is to just have a look at this tray. I think we'll cut the dash next and we'll run all the other wires around the van. So we are going to have to do some cutting, aren't we? Let's get rid of this. This is something you have to sort out with your own dashboard, isn't it, of how you got it laid out. Yes thing, let's see what we can do with that. Let's get the GPS wire sorted out and get some trim off. So it's not too bad in this, so now I'm filming it and it's just difficult, but you can imagine, you know, you'll be a lot quicker, won't you, doing it if you weren't filming and stuff, I'm sure. So there we go, we've got that wire fish through there for the GPS side of things. Good to go. Okay, so let's install this front facing camera. So we're gonna have to mount it on the windscreen somewhere up here. It's damp, is my windscreen, so again I might just have to for the time being just mount this up here with a little bit of cable there. To that, get our adapter, clip that onto that. We can then route our cable to that, ready to fit our dash cam. Whoo-wee. Right, let's I think for me, for the time being, I think that's all the wires I need. We've got a TPMS unit to fit as well. We'll install that as well, because I think we've got to fit a module to one of the back of the USB connectors. So this little gadget here, very clever. It's quite nice and neat in its box. What we've got is a little box of stuff. These are to tighten them onto the wheels, onto the valves. We've got front left, front right, rear left and rear right. And this little module here, I think we need to be careful because I don't think these are labelled the same. I may be wrong. But the cables feel heavy duty, do you know what I mean? ATOTO, it looks good quality, you know. No flimsy cables or anything, it's nice stuff. So we've got their external storage and recording storage. Okay, so do these have different connectors on the back to go into different plugs? Yes, so we can't get them wrong, so we can plug them in and they'll happily reach into my glove box area. And if I have to, I could actually make them, maybe pop one through there if I have to, or I used to have something coming up through the top of it, I could maybe put one there. So yeah, we'll get these running as well, and see how we go. Right, plug the USB receiver into any USB port on the head unit except the quick charge port, which I think that's at the front. So let's plug it into external storage. Should we go for external storage? So we'll plug that into there for the time being, and we're done with that there. The next thing is to get the radio installed, I think. Start plugging some wires in and see what's going on. Right. So first thing is let's plug this dash cam wire in. Which will go in there. That one will go in there. It's just, you can't go wrong with these connectors, you know, they're all one multi-plug. That in there, that in there. That other one needs to go in there. And the other white one will be for the USBs and things like that. Not the USBs, the amps and wires and stuff. So we can get an amp sorted out for it. We could then power it off an amp our speakers up. Great, I could probably put an HDMI adapter, long extension in there as well. Possibly do that. Let's plug our, what else we've got to plug in? We've got to plug in our GPS system, connected. We've got to plug our aerial in, connected, and the power supply into here. There's a lot going on in there. There's a lot happening in there that we're in, and we'll have to just get these wires behind this dashboard the best we can. There's a lot of cables, and that's what I was saying before about tie wrapping and taping stuff up. If you haven't got any movement, then you struggle. You know, you're struggling to make things fit. But with vans, you've got quite a lot of leeway with them, with cables. So that's that into there. This is my fascia. It does come with some fascias, this radio. I'm gonna just have a look at these fascias in a minute. So with a little bit of fiddling and stuff like that, we've got this to fit. There we go. It looks quite neat actually, to be honest. I don't know, I miss my little cubbyhole, but it is what it is. I think it looks a lot better. What we need to do now is just make a little bit of an extension lead up for this earth cable down here. Do we have power to it? If we turn the ignition on, fingers crossed, and there we go. Let's have a look at the radio. So we have got other stuff to program in, which we'll do. So there we go, we've got all this on. I've got something with my phone, I've got to download some firmware, some updates and stuff like that. What I'll do is I'll get on with that now, and we'll get everything tested and see what it looks like. We'll have a look at some apps. Alright, let's crack on with that. So, this is the review of this stereo. I've had it a few days now. I've got everything installed. We've got the GPS in the window. I've got my DAB radio aerial plugged in. I've got the dash cam in as well, and it all went pretty well. You know, I just had to undo a few trims and push a few wires through. I know I had a bit of trouble with my wiring in my stereo from the original one, but hopefully you could see how to change that if you needed to swap yours out and somebody cut your wires out, so you enjoyed that bit. I'll show you this stereo now. We'll look at a few apps and we'll have a bit of a chat at the end and see what we think to it. So this is the X10. It's a company ATOTO, like we know. So this is my home screen. You can have multiple home screens. This is very much like an Android phone. If you can work your phones on your techie, it'll take you minutes to work this out probably than me. So we have our main apps on here, just like everything else, and if we want an app, we just keep our fingers on it and we drag it to the front. So we'll just pick one. We can do that, and then we can bring it here and drop it there like that. And if we don't want it, we can take it up there and remove it, which I think is great. These are ones I use all the time. Got a nice widget app there. We've got widgets. People like the widgets on the phones and stuff, so we can press that. And we've got loads of widgets we can choose from, and again drag them to the screen. There's a volume one, even though your volume's here, you could put your volume there. There's all kinds of stuff on there we can use, different ones. Just scroll through and pick one and drag it to your screen. You notice my volume's down here, I've turned it off. We've got our app map in there, and as soon as we press that, it brings up where we are and what we're doing, and it's very fast. Is that at doing that. This is quite good for me, the music side of stuff, and I've got more music now than I could ever imagine. I've got the DAB radio side of it, which is there, which brings up all the stations for DAB radio for me. Tuned it in straight away. It's all pre-installed. Plug the aerial in, bush, it sorts it all out. Download the little icons and away you go. And that was that. I've got my Alexa thing I can use. I've got my Spotify I can use. I've got more music than I ever need, and what this does is this connects straight to my phone, so I don't have to touch my phone. Once I get in my van, start it up, this directly pushes all my information to the stereo, and that's a good thing, so we're not messing with our phones. It also has installed is the front dash cam, which is here. I'll show you that now, and that's my view. That is crystal clear. That for a 1080 picture, it's amazing. We can press settings and we can change loads of stuff. I'm on 5-minute loops, parking monitors on, so whether it gets bumped, I don't want to find that out. G sensor, I can have it high, pixels, KPM, obviously mileage, we can have it in if you're European driver, you can have it in miles, kilometers, and the USB things. A 256 one, I found it in a drawer and formatted it so it works, but you get a massive one, couldn't you, if you had to. That works really well, so I'm really pleased with that. Excuse me. So we've also got, if you're into stereos and things like that, we've got this part. This has got everything that you can imagine. You can customize a lot of things. We can press master, we can set up loads of different options. This being a van with 4 speakers, if we had amps and stuff like that, we could play around with this, and subs, we could make a real get use out of this. So it is really handy. You can move this around wherever you feel you need the music to be. It is a left-hand drive car, but it doesn't really make any difference really, the field. And you can change it and just put equalizer, and it's brilliant, that, isn't it? You can press all sorts on there. So another thing I installed was a TPMS. I find it's quite good. So it tells me the tyre temperatures today and also the PSI. This can be changed with settings to bar pressure, temperature, maximum temperatures, alarms if it's going to be a problem. If you think you may have a slow puncher or you're going on a long journey, you can set all that up, and I think that's a good thing. It's fuel economy, and obviously you don't want a problem if you think you've got a flat tyre. It would help. So that brings a van like this up to quite modern day technology, so I quite like that. That's good. We've got the torque device fitted in here, so if I press that, this is probably more for the techie kind of people that want to know the proper stats, but This is plugged in down here on my USB device. You can see it flashing, and basically we've got all our revs, boost pressure, boost PSI, speed, coolant temperature now is at 80 odd or 90 nearly, so it works really, it's really good. That we've got 0 to 60 time, quarter mile. We've got lots of things. This will probably do lots of things for more modern cars, so that might be a really good feature to add into your stereo. And we have all our music, like I say. And one thing I noticed with this, with Netflix and other streaming services, if I watched a movie on here, I was having my tea and watching a brilliant film, a crystal clear screen again. Once I came out of it and pressed my home screen, the actual movie was still in the bottom like on a TV. So I thought that was quite good, how that worked. I was really impressed with that. So it does multiple things, and everything else. You got your settings for all your setting up your phone to it and everything else. So I really like it. I find it dead easy to use, and I'm really impressed with it. So it works well for me, does that. I really like it. I'll show you another feature on here. I just have to make sure there's some things on here that I can't post up, if you know what I mean. So in relation to locations and stuff like that. So here we go. This is my home screen on my phone. So my phone is directly connected to this, and all my apps and everything's on here. If I get a message, it comes up there. If I click on that message, I can press read, and it reads the message, and it tells me I can reply, voice activated to it, and it'll automatically send it. I don't even have to go near my phone. I think it's brilliant, that. So these are all the apps on here. I find it really useful. I use that one to open my gates, so it doesn't matter. I don't have to find my key fob or anything like that. I can open from anywhere, being wireless and stuff. So that's really good. Maps again there, but we've already got, if I press that one there, what that does is it splits the screen between my mapping, my recent locations, and my music icon comes in that picture there, so I can have my music and listen to what I'm doing on streaming services. Or if I don't want that, I can press the arrow and it shoots it across, and it shows me the full mapping of where we're going, and the mapping is really quick. So I'm really pleased with that, to be honest. It's brilliant. It takes us back to our home screen. It's got living, you can have all these different like living background, static ones, everything else. That's the DAB radio button there, if we click that as well, and it just works. So what I mean by that is that I know we had a bit, everything just plugs in, you switch it on and it works. USB ports with a splitter that runs the TPMS and the DAB side of it onto an adapter, and the dash cam runs off its own USB, because there's only 2 ports on the back, and the fire one at the front, if they call it, runs my Alexa thing. So yeah, it all works. I plug it in and it works. Is it worth £600? Absolutely. For me, yeah, definitely. The screen's unbelievable. It connects to my phone. It does what I want it to do. I've got no wires everywhere plugged in, like for my dash cam into a lighter socket, trying to wire stuff in. I've got GPS, I've got DAB radio. It's all in one unit, and it's just superb, this radio. So I'm really impressed with it. I really am impressed with it. And hopefully we can install different models of these into different vehicles, singled in to doubled in, bigger screen versions and stuff, which is what everybody wants, this Android stuff. And it does take away your phone use, you know, playing with your phone when you shouldn't be. So I think it's great, and I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased they asked me to demo it and do a review on it. You know, you wonder what these Android head units are like. I've never really had one, and I probably won't go back to another radio now. I'll definitely be buying these Android ones. I think it's great, especially this X10. It's really fast, and you can have extras to it. You can have door lighting things that come on. You can have extra mics. You can have a rear camera as well if you wanted to put a rear camera in somewhere. This instantly records as well, by the way, so it records straight away. Turn the ignition on, this thing starts recording, as you can see here, look. So it's constantly recording up there. You don't have to switch this front cam on, it's just constantly recording all the time. And again, I mean, that's the view you get. It's unbelievable, you know, on the road. And we can lift it up and down as well. Look, we can move it up and down the camera depending on what vehicle you've got. And if I click this arrow across here, it'll tell me my location. I can put a map, I can put a calendar on here that as well, that tells me where I and what's happened at that time. It's all recorded, so it is a real benefit to people. That it's great, and the buttons are easy to use. We can move widgets. It's just easy to use. You know, if you're more techie than me, you're going to get this in minutes, you know, and apps and stuff. I hope you like it. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed a bit of an install and the review at the end of this. Got any more questions, ask me. We're going to stick some discount codes in the description, so have a look at that, and get in touch with the ATOTO. The staff there are brilliant. If you want help with anything, information, you've got problems with stuff, they will help you, no problem at all. And hope you like this review, and you'll have a look at their website and hopefully purchase one of their units. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next video. So bye for now.